The normal look here is this green dot should be solid when you're feeding a plate. If it's green and flashing, it just means it's processing, which we are. We're processing a plate. So it's still okay to put another plate in as long as you remember the 2-inch thing. You have a 2-inch gap between the plates.
And how hot is it?
How hot is it?
Yeah, that when it's baking.
180 degrees. So it'll be, the plate gets pretty warm. Yeah. And if you have a lamp go out, you'll get an error code. So then they used to give you a spare. I think let's check that box. See if they give you. I think they used to give you a spare ball. Here's one. Now there's bulbs or something that they go inside this unit, and you would never want to touch those bulbs with your fingers. If you do, and you power it up, it blows on it. So if you would happen to touch a bulb, we used to do that with other bulb systems years ago. You just take alcohol and go over the bulb. It cleans the oils from your fingers off, because that's what it blows. Yeah, gloves. Yep. Okay. That's pretty much it. So once your IT department gets your spool folders shared on all your Macs, you guys are going to be able to, do that. But you'll have those 2 folders in there. You drop it into one. I have it all tied into the page setup so that it'll do the size that you have. Now, was the orientation correct on that plate? Was it in the right position? That's something else we'll have to look at when it comes out here. Okay, keep that in mind. I don't know if...
if it's a template, it
shouldn't be a problem. Correct. If you're doing the template, it shouldn't matter. But say your template, when you had your job come in here, say it came in the wrong orientation, at that point we could fix that in that page setup. Remember we had the orientation settings? All we would have to do, if say that would happen to you, I just went to sleep. And this does have a password on it now. Because we put that on, it's RIP, so you may want to write that down. It didn't earlier, but we did that just to try to fix that issue. Let me close this. So if you needed to change the orientation, this flashlight's on, so we need to stop it. Then you would go in here to Page Setup Manager. You'd change the one the orientation was wrong on. So say I wanted the 15 3/4 one, I would double click it, and right here I would switch this to whatever setting I needed. So say it was 90. You can see this image actually change here when you switch it. It shows you what it's doing. So it's flipping at 90 degrees clockwise. So then anytime you make any change, you always want to hit OK when you leave, or it won't save the changes.
Or then that way we should put the plate on the landscape way.
No, you're still you're always going to load it the same way. Yeah. Now all we're doing is flipping the image that's on the plate if it was wrong. So now I'm going to go back in there and switch that back, because we don't know if that needs to be done or not at this point. So you just hit OK and OK, and then you always want to hit the green light to get the flashlight looking for jobs in those hot folders.
Yeah, we're going to just keep it as it is, because we're using template, right?
All right.
So now, after it cures it, it's going to put gum on it, and then it'll go out. Now, they did send some of this plate cleaner, too. You don't have to use this.
What is that for?
But that's basically if your plate's not being as receptive to ink as it should be, you can use the plate cleaner and clean it and then try it again.
Before you print.
Only if you have to. Yeah.
Before you print or before you plate?
No, I'm talking before you print.
Before you print.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would be something that after all this is done. Yeah.
After all is done, we try to ink it and it doesn't.
Right, it's not being receptive to the ink.
Then use this.
Then use the plate cleaner.
How did you make sure that the plate size was the right plate size?
How did I?
Yeah. What was the?
Because if you look on the box, it's 15 3.
No, in the computer.
Okay, I programmed all that, but the way you ensure you get it to the right ones, you drop it in the right folder.
Okay. And then
because I have those tied to the page setups for that size.
Oh, okay.
So I kept the names the same throughout. So let me show you. So the name's right on the spool folder. See, it's the plate size. Then in the page setup here, I have the names the same name.
Yeah.
So that way you don't get confused when you're getting around and this is where all the configuration took place. Then to actually get it from that spool folder, I had kept the names the same in the input controller as well. Okay. Did that answer your question? Okay. So yeah, this. And there's our plate.
Also the folder has that size. That's the difference.
Okay.
Oh, it's already gone.
Yep.
Oh.
So the plate went in like this.
Mhm.
I mean, it came out like this, and then we just dropped it down and ran it through.
Mhm.
So let's look at the image here. So if we hit Roam, and then reduce Roam,
So that's the interesting because it gave more room here than here. Why is that?
because of the way the file came in, it might be, it's centering it this direction. So it's probably, yeah, and that looks about centered in this direction.
Okay.
And that would be, if you look in your page layout here,
Yeah.
center page on media length. So it's centering it on the length. We could do center on width, but then that takes away your control to, maybe you want that though.
Both, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we did that, we could run another plate. Actually, we could run the same plate.
That's
That way we don't waste one. So let's, yeah, what I'm gonna do. That's right, it does have a gum in it. Yeah, we probably, actually, we've done that before though. Let's just get another plate. Let's just get another, that way we don't mess that one up. So go ahead, I'm gonna let you guys do it. Get another plate, you're gonna do everything. And if we find that this is what you want, I'll change the settings in your case setups.
We want the image on the center.
Yeah, and that makes sense for the way you guys are, see, the printing presses I work on, they're always down. You have a gripper, so the image is always right here. Because
So
of
they
the
don't
way
want to
they-
run the
Right.
whole thing, so it's like a more efficient.
Well, no,
that
they'll,
way.
no, they'll run the
Is
whole
it
thing,
ready?
but it might be a whole sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they're running.
We have two different machines. You can actually.
And did you make sure it was in against?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't feel that movement. You're close. Okay. That's just the main thing. Make sure you're in against when you're doing it. Now, I don't know how crucial it is for you, but like on the offset presses, if they're doing full colors,
Yeah.
for registration, it's important.
It's
Okay, so now once you have that in, this job, I just changed the settings in here, and we're gonna see, all I did was check this upper one on, and all we're gonna do is rerun the job.
But wait, but you have to check every image that way?
No. All we're doing is seeing if this is what you want. And if this is what you want, then I'll change it in the setup so any new jobs coming in will do this automatically.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and run that. And right after it starts, you can check this again so you can walk away. You don't have to wait for it. So now it should image once the machine's ready. This machine's actually pretty simple. Some of the ones I work on, they actually have autoloaders where they have slip. You see how it has the slip sheets between each blade to protect it? It'll actually remove the slip sheet, run it into a bin, then it grabs the plate, stands it up, hands it off to the plate setter. The plate setter grabs it, wraps it around the drum, and it spins at high RPMs, and then a thermal laser images it, then it comes off into a ramp. Ramp drops down, pushes it out, pushes it, and stacks it. So we do that kind of stuff too.
This is good enough for him.
Oh, this is, yeah, we have a lot of these out too.
Right. I think someone recommended this machine to me when I was researching. just the bummer for me is the little size is a bit too small. I want it to go a little bit larger, but then size, comes
Yeah.
out. So.
It gets more
Oh
random
yeah, I
here,
think
too.
it is.
It'll help a
Now
lot.
it's centered.
Now it's centered. So
Yeah.
that is what you want. So I'll go ahead and change those other ones.
We don't have to.
Can we run it through the curing process?
If
No,
you're
let's
gonna
not
print,
make
if
it-
you're gonna print with it, or you just want to
I
try it.
want to try
Okay.
one
Yep.
with the baked and one without.
One without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Okay, that's good. Then let's see the color. Exactly same look on the back. Yeah.
So
Marker.
I'll go ahead and turn that centering on your page setup.
This
so any
is,
new jobs
gum.
coming in,
BK or G. So that's it. So we're gonna run it through. See how roller steps and how the image. So this is perfect. Great. Yay! Finally. There's a one color now.
Good. Now, if you double click the job, just double click it,
Click.
it'll actually show you the size
This?
that it came in at.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
See it?
7 by 6.
that's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's a case where I was saying that, now, if you have another image, say it's 8.5 by 11, it's gonna fall a little different on the plate than that one. And if you have another one that's 11 by 17, so if you make up templates, and you take that job and you place it in that template, and some people have guidelines, like they might even just have one at the bottom saying this is the start of my print, so that they know when they place that image they can center it and move it down to that line, and that's a good, template to have, so
Yeah.
that it would make things easier for you. And have one for each plate size. That way you know when you're running that plate size that's what you would use. That's
So
what
the
I would do.
template should be which file? Just
You would either do that in Illustrator or in Design,
And then
is
just
where you
save
would
it
have the
as
template.
PDF.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
So you could do that in Photoshop, save it, and then place it in Design or Illustrator, and then output the job as
Okay.
save it as a PDF then.
Alright.
And then it'll take on that size. And then that way when it
Yeah.
comes in, it'll be consistent every time. Because the way you're doing it now, it's gonna move. One size is gonna place one place, another size is gonna place another. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Wanna do
that's
that
how we
one?
did. That's how we did with that one
Yeah,
too.
make sure you do it.
Yep, exactly. No different. It's just a different plate maker, but the concept is the same. I work on thermal laser systems, and the same. They do the same thing. Okay. So at this point, you see how it actually showed just by clicking it the size that it came in at, and keep in mind that the margin is going to be the distance from the edge. So we can go ahead and make a plate. If we look in here, we see that if I switch this to inches, that was the 15 3/4 plate. So let's grab a 15 3/4 plate and actually run this shop.
Should be there.
Yep, let's grab those. I think they're underneath here. So there's the one size. This is this is it. All right. So you're just gonna get a plate. Some people wear gloves when they do it. It's not that big of a deal. Just don't finger up the plate too much. And these plates are, I believe they're 8 mil. Yeah, these are 8 mil plates. That's another reason we're on setting 2. Remember, setting 1 was 6 mil, setting 2 was 8. Yeah. Okay, so what you would do is you would take your plate. Thank you. You would place it on here. These are registration pins. The main thing you want to do is just keep it in against these as you're sliding it in, and take it right in, and then the printer will take it. Of course, it needs to say ready, or it wouldn't have done that. So now it's going to take it in, it's